much for your time today. We really appreciate it. Now, the launch of the Nissan Leaf was a real big deal for Nissan because of the energy and resources that went into this amazing technology. And for South Africa, it was a big paradigm shift because it was the first all-electric car to be introduced. How has it been received in South Africa?
Well, the reception from the public has been awesome, overwhelming, more than we'd expected anyway. Initially, we thought you're going to start slowly. It's a new technology, it's a new concept, and like you said, the paradigm shift because we used to internal combustion engines. But when we introduced the car at the Johannesburg Motor Show, the interest from public was huge, overwhelming, more than we'd expected. We did more than 1,000 test drives and shuttle service around the show, and everybody who drove the car was impressed. So it's been positive, and we're really excited.
That's amazing. And I think what's so fascinating about the story around Nissan is how it has been received globally. Yes. It was World Car of the Year in 2011, Japanese Car of the Year in 2012, and European Car of the Year in 2012 as well.
Yes, and remember as well, as we see today, we've sold over 100,000 units worldwide. This best-selling electric vehicle ever. So the success has been there, which is quite encouraging because that means people are aware of the electric vehicles and the technology and the benefits of owning such a car, which is quite huge. So we sold more than any other electric vehicle out there.
And how does the demand in South Africa compare to the demand coming through from other emerging economies?
Still, South Africa is still quite early. Remember, we launched officially last year November last year. Yes. So it's still quite early to judge the reception, but like I said, the positive feedback we got from the customers has been positive, has been overwhelming. But I think it's going to kick up once people start knowing and start seeing the car on the road too. So once the awareness is there, then it will start keeping up.
Now, from what I understand, this car that we currently in right now has been designed specifically for the South African market. What were some of the engineering changes and aesthetic changes that had to be made for South Africa, and why is that?
I think the designers had a clean sheet to start with because this is completely new platform. We didn't check out the engine and the fuel tank and put batteries. No, completely off the ground is an electric vehicle, which make it easier as well for the designers. If you look at, for example, we've got the leather seats. Other European markets they use beige, which for South Africa is not so much well received. As well as the aerodynamics of the car itself. We've got a small solar panel at the top that charges a 12-volt battery. Because we've got the sun, we've got a perfect weather in South Africa for that as well. So this was designed specifically as an electric vehicle, and that's why it works.
Yeah, no, I actually had the opportunity to test drive this car. It was an invigorating experience because you actually feel that you're giving so much more back to the planet. It's an amazing experience to be in a car that's not toxic. But as a consumer, if I have to consider purchasing a car like this, the most obvious concern is the infrastructure support that has to come with it. Now, you only have 7 charging points in the city of Johannesburg.
Okay, what happens is if, let's say you go and buy a car now, what happens is our supplier will come and install a home charger in your garage. So 80% of the charging will happen in your house, in the comfort of your house, just like your cell phone. You come in at home at night, just plug it in, in the morning, up and running. Over and above that, we have charging points around Gauteng at Nissan dealers. It's 9 in fact. So those are more for your emergency. In case you go into a meeting, realize you can't make it on time, then you can just pop into a Nissan dealer, charge for free, and it's free of charge to all Nissan Leaf customers.
But now, given the infrastructure constraints, would you say it makes the Nissan Leaf the ultimate city car for practical reasons?
It is. Remember as well, as we're driving now, every time we brake, we recharge the batteries. So this car was meant for city driving. It is perfect in the city. It is in its element in the city because you're not emitting emissions. I mean, how many people are around us here? So we're neutral to the environment, we're not emitting emissions, and we're also charging the car while we're driving, which means we got more range. So you can do your normal day-to-day runnings with the car with no issues.
I have so many questions for you, but I only have time for one more question, so I'm going to squeeze it in very quickly. Also, as a consumer, in South Africa, we have a very limited supply of electricity, and today's headline is, are we on the brink of rolling blackouts? Now, this is a big damper when it comes to considering to buy a car like this.
Yes, remember, like the car is a new concept, so it involves a lot of parties and a lot of partnerships involved. Utilities like Eskom, government institutions, us as manufacturers bring electric car, but have to work together as a collective to make it a success. It's not just manufacturers bring out the car without the support. We need the support from the government, we need support from the utility companies and the infrastructure as a whole. So in a sense, even though we might experience blackouts, but remember, the car is still new. And if you live and drive within city, you should be able to do 3 days without charging.
Okay, thank you.
Ease.
Thank you so much for your time.
It's a pleasure.
It was a privilege.